Welcome back as we head into the second map. It is Nuke, and DomiNation really did come in like a wrecking ball on Inferno. The question is, what can LDLC do on their own map pick?
Yeah, gonna have to really put best foot forward, aren't they? I mean, getting rolled like that on Inferno was definitely not a part of the plan. Didn't expect that one to happen, so have to really show what they're made of. And they've already got plans with this pistol. Smoke's outside. They will try and get a couple players on the cross, but there is already... Is that Aaron behind them?
No,
okay,
no,
never mind. I was like, they've got some sort of shadow clone jutsu on the minimap, so don't be too concerned about that one. LDLC have gone down towards Seeker, and Camion doing some decent damage, but taking a headshot for his troubles. He does find a kill on his departure, and it's only Afro that remains. He's very separated from this bomb, but he has got access to lower.
Well, tanked Mr. Coolio for the triple. Oh, he actually gets that frag. It didn't look like he was going to Afro. Lost control just a little bit, but yeah, this is still nearly impossible. 1v3. As Afro is making his way back over towards the upper bomb site. Maybe a couple more kills is something he can look for, but with 45 seconds, getting those and the bomb plant both together will be more than a little bit difficult. Swat it out now as well. I won't lie to you, I don't know exactly what the CT positions are.
Yeah, you had someone holding deep CT, but they didn't exist, and someone back red as well, who also didn't exist. So, you know, those were very solid angles to hold had DomiNation actually been inside of it, but it didn't matter. They're able to speed up the pistol on the players that are indeed actually active. Good for a start. Like you said, those 3 kills from Coolio certainly alleviated all the stress they had about where LDLC were headed.
Well, the deep CT and the back right player are the ones that you should be ignoring for now. We'll have that fixed pretty soon, but until then, just keep an eye out for Coolio, who's only got the one this time over, not the triple. And he was able to bring through on the best round.
But he is already fast through the vents and towards decon, so access to the bomb site is not exactly open just yet. And Camion as well finding out Lambert, who I think was trying to play a little bit of trigger discipline, trying his best to really bleed out as much as he could from that position, but Camion cleared it.
It might have been gray screened, but regardless.
Well, Benito's going to feel a little silly for the fact he's rotated down towards B. Brooks. Oh, okay, never mind. Not anymore.
Benito feeling like he's a little bit big head now, and as soon as they start to move forward, the smoke has been deployed. Benito should be realizing exactly what's coming in. He's more worried about the secondary prong of attack, but there is only a single force coming out to the B-bomb site. And they will be going for the full retake. Utility aplenty on the DomiNation side, but really with the scout, not the best of guns to do so.
Good kill from Aaron. Brings it back to a 3-on-2, and Afro is just out in no man's land trying to hold his spot as long as possible. He's going to get crunched in from 2 sides simultaneously. Aaron even sweeping up that kill as Bodito found the first face. Bomb planted for decon, so Brooksy can line this one up, but that smoke is not going to make his job that much easier. Damage is decent. Bodito still sticking it, and no one falls here for DomiNation. Fully committing to that defuse, Bodito had to. They had no kits available, so 2 in a row here from the DomiNation side.
Hey man, this is just already looking like they're off to a good start. You know, that 3v3 retake as well, where we thought maybe there could be a chance for the T side to maybe, you know, sneak in there with a 4-5 victory. It just doesn't quite happen. I will say LDLC look a lot more convincing than they did on Inferno, though. Not just lost duels and lost strats. This is some direction already.
Yeah, you know, they're certainly having some chances at it, which is certainly nice. But at the moment, it feels like even the contingencies are looking pretty solid here from DomiNation on this map, where LDLC are really hoping to recover, because we start to see them do a little bit better as time went on. So or at least on Inferno. So just gotta hope that things maintain their form. DomiNation have come in with some very solid mechanical abilities coming into this game. They outclassed them on that first map, and we've already seen some, or I guess we've missed some of the action at the start of this round. They tried to cross quick on the LDLC side. It is a 3-on-4 with Lambert already down towards the lower side of the map. Just about how difficult it's going to be for these players to cross and rendezvous with him.
That's a sick Galil, by the way.
Yeah.
I feel like I just don't know any of the new skins.
I don't even think that's a new one.
Really? Okay, maybe just the craft that's sort of throwing me off a little bit. Well, no one actually looking to pop into the B-bomb site yet from either team. Gravity is just chancing around, being very wary of the idea that there could be a rotation through early on as well. Remember, Badita was nearby quite soon, but he didn't actually reveal himself when he did rotate back down to the B-bomb site. Now, with the doors being opened, the CT side will be collecting for the retake yet again.
They must be suspicious. Flash, primed, Lambert dodging, and oh god, Gaz does get at least one kill before his exit, but now they're cluttered up in towards dark, and they're trying to bait for one another. It's all about whether or not DomiNation full clear for 2, or whether LDLC's post-plant setup can actually catch them unaware.
They've got Molotovs and grenades. They should be thinking about using them soon. First one at least dinked up, but that might actually end up working against them. Gravity knows that he needs to die soon, and when he does go down, the question is, will it be cleared for more? The defuse is coming through. They turn around. They want to stick it. There's no time. And Brooksy even comes out big with the kills.
Lovely double headshot there from Brooksy, but DomiNation, I think, losing track of that final player. They should have known. Brooksy got a kill in from that exact position, so once they deal with Gravity, they should have a fixation on Brooksy. That should have been the call, that it wasn't him that they finally traded. But no, DomiNation seemingly comms cluttered. LDLC sneaking away with a round after starting with a man deficit. Really built that wall of smoke as they were getting to the run, and
I really love it whenever the timing is perfectly aligned with, yes, it just feels like a Mission Impossible franchise coming through.
Yeah, I never really got eyes on him, but MSN at least heard that presence.
No.
Coolio confirms.
Adjustment from him, not quite able to find the kill, but at the very least he keeps his life, which you can't really say the same about for Mr. Messenger. Don't kill the messenger.
Oh man, Vanguard and DomiNation are not exactly on a pristine buy, so trying their best with the pistols and SMGs coming into this round, not succeeding thus far. But you know, it does have an idea that they are jumping up and wrapping on him, but Gravity's now spotted the player up close and just doesn't want to fall to those pistols. They are at least clustered up together, these remaining 2 players here on DomiNation, but it looks like they're going to be able to sweep this one under the rug. Aaron's got 1 kill, but he's lost his teammate, and LDLC will keep 4 afloat for what is to be a DomiNation save in the following round. This is a chance for the French to overtake.
There's a lot of ground being given up by DomiNation in towards the B-bomb side. Even, obviously, in a round like this, you're not expecting them to be playing out default positions, but I would be curious to see whether that is a trend that continues. Camion has been donated an XM1014. That's not the normal donation that you expect. Maybe a scout? Maybe a deagle? With the XM. Okay.
Well, it was looking good until the final kill there from Brooksy. Overcommitted and didn't quite finish off the frag. It's all well and good. Is Lambert close by enough to retrieve a rifle? He is. Has his hands on an A1S.
Shotgun destroys their buy here, funnily enough. Because Camion isn't able to get any kills from it as well.
Well, he might just commit to another shotgun. Oh, a FAMAS instead. Surprised he went this route instead of opting for more util. DomiNation are doing a great job on Inferno of managing utility. It's all about how they're constantly finding HE damage, or even sometimes Molotovs were very well placed. Gravity had to make sure he didn't drop off Silo. That nade would have tagged and slowed him, so he wouldn't have been able to cross towards Mini just off of a single step. This is a weird wall of smokes.
Could have even died. Weird it might be, but at least it confuses Aaron as well in the middle of it all. And they vanished across through safely as well.
Yeah, wow.
drop down for the double peak.
It is a bit curious that DomiNation aren't rotating anyone towards the lower side when they know that there's a possibility that they've crossed.
They haven't. So far, it's just been a very consistent, hey, let's hold the upper bomb side. It feels like they're watching out for lurks more than anything else, and they want to go for the retake. But there haven't really been many lurks out for LDLC. You know, look at Coolio. He's got so much map control. Finally, MSN does make his way down the lower bomb site. But LDLC have also seemed to be aware of the fact that this is the vulnerability. But Dido found... And there are still a few players out on the upper bomb side. Camion is about to be blindsided by his own gun, so it will be traded. But at least does find one before he falls. And with this, it's all that MSN on the B-bomb side.
Finally finding these lurks. Yeah, MSN under pressure. So many Molotovs that are down that makes it very hard for them to actually find him. Afro finally deals with that initial presence on B. And only 2 players that are alive and no real foothold on lower. No extra flank, no nothing. DomiNation are calling it quits. LDLC, another success over at B. I think that is something that we will likely see adapted to here on the DomiNation side. You know, at the moment, like you said, they're just so committed towards top side and dealing with lurks. Because LDLC can't be allowed to cross this freely.
I think it's even more egregious the fact that when you look at how far in Camion had pushed through, and he knows there's basically no one outside. He goes all the way to Silo, and they've only rotated 1 player down lower.
Yeah. Not conventional so far here from DomiNation in terms of the reactions. They do get to hold on to these 2 rifles, at the very least. That's more than what Coolio came into the round with. He had an MP9. Question will be whether or not they buy up around it. They can at least commit to some semblance of a half, you know, P250 armor. They'd still be able to keep 2K afloat. Camion actually buying into the mag. He's our resident shotgun expert here on the DomiNation squad. He had to show off those proficiencies.
Oh. Feel like that's not what you're looking for here.
They did assemble that boost at the initial timing. They might have actually found a kill. But Aaron is struck first with his saved weapon.
Coolio might be able to come through and double up on the other side, so make up for it. Yep, there you go, Coolio! Quick spray down onto 2 players just trying to swing out at the wrong time.
I mean, with how free lower has been in previous rounds, it's very easy to see why LDLC might drop their guard even slightly. Spacing a little off for that particular angle. Not quite cleared with the same consistency. Good damage onto Afro, but he does find a kill. It's still a man advantage held here by the CT, and access to that bomb is taken away from the French. If Lambert gets the kill on Heaven, then suddenly this does become a lot more worrisome here for DomiNation. Benito, only a USP, a Molotov that can maybe section off those vents, stop them from getting attacked from both sides. Prioritizing his life, Lambert. Yeah, dead man walking, and that's a delivery for Camion. $800 in the pocket and an upgrade to an M4 Afro. This is almost certainly a save. Much better, and that's an immediate adaptation off of those 2 saved rifles. Aaron instigated action, but then Coolio taking up responsibilities on lower with the other rifle. Uh-oh. That's bad. That's very, very bad. Okay, it's fine again. They would have still been able to buy. They would have still been able to get an AWP, but it's just, you know, saving over what is 5.7k is, yeah, definitely valuable. So had Afro gone down there, it wouldn't have been ideal.
I would love to hear you just do a purely emotions commentary, just describing your emotions as you watch something. I feel worried. I feel worried. I am
distressed.
Gravity is on fire, which is quite distressing, but not as much so when Aaron is going to be found out and brought down immediately afterwards.
Ooh, second kill as well. There's this minor gap around the Garrett smoke that will amount to nothing. Coolio holds it, but No one actually giving him too much of a fight. A 5-on-3 that, I mean, I think there's a real argument to already angle for a save. They've got some floating funds available that they would be able to buy in the following round, but MSN will still give a good swing at it. Already committed lower with that AWP, and there are quite a few LDLC members ready to greet him here.
Go, Bob. Emerson had heard it, thought he could go out for the peek forward, but Afro was maintaining angle for so much longer. Generally not an angle that you actually hold down on with the AWP, so I think Emerson felt like he was safe to peek out. Now, unfortunately for DomiNation, the only thing they're safe to do is safe.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where I don't even think MSN himself had heard it. You know, Coolio was above him in Garage, that he would have likely relayed that information, but couldn't have possibly conveyed over to him that they were boosting as well. You know, that's one of those, you know, instinctive things you have to think about as a lower side rotator. But MSN a little bit out of his depth in that duel. Not quite the same solid start from the whole squad of DomiNation. Not like we saw on Inferno, where some players just weren't dying. You know, MSN was taking crazy peaks. Everything was going right for them. LDLC are adding more speed bumps to their journey. In fact, maybe even building a small hill upon which they themselves can sit. Already 5 rounds here on this T side. At the moment, DomiNation are not finding the same consistency on entry kills or opening duels. LDLC justifying this map pick by already getting off to a solid T side start, even after losing the pistol.
Lambert is on a Glock. Should he be on a Glock? Probably not. Will he stay on a Glock? Surprisingly, yes.
He may not realize. Yeah, he's run back.
Did he drop his rifle? Well, I mean, by now he's lost teammates out as well. This is already looking a little bit silly.
And why buy when he can just simply take a weapon from his teammate's dead body? So, actually just thinking 3 steps ahead.
That's why he's the coach.
Yeah, not
every
used to
time
buying,
he gets onto a server, he tries to steal his players' weapons.
Yeah, the
Damn it, Lambert.
Excuse.
It's his only optimal. Well, this time they haven't actually been able to cross over back to Secret safely. Lambert with the saved op is just finding Coolio, though, so that's quite nice for them. Aaron, who this time is maintaining a significantly more passive position himself, is going to be having company given over. MSN rotating out of ramp. He's playing now much more defensively from Secret. And the Secret room watching out for a push forward, but could be overrun. Not that much utility left for LDLC, but a good Molotov forces out Camion right into the waiting hands of Gravity. Snubbling finds another in the meanwhile, and it is all but Dido. 0 kills so far, has a chance to bring in 3 more. Good for 1. Can he find 2? Yes, but unfortunately 2 is just not enough.
Yeah, when he loses his heaven rotate like that so quickly, you know, it's almost impossible for him to think about winning that round 1-on-4. The 2 headshots were nice. Those were his first couple of frags that he's had so far this game. They're just all a little too late. Needed a bit more support. LDLC, good recovery. You know, they started off with a man deficit, losing Afro on that AWP, but then Lambert was able to respond with his own and then just collected their efforts towards a topside hit, and DomiNation could do nothing to slow them. What is the call here for DomiNation? Half buy? Do they get aggressive? Seen a lot of teams as of late play, you know, stacked setups. I think people have been inspired by seeing FaZe pull off like a full USP round on A-bomb site. I'm starting to see more and more players just group heaven, group rafters. But it's a little bit bog standard here from DomiNation. Very spread out in their efforts. MSN loses his life due to a spam. They've already dived. Or they've already dove the Lambert in towards those vents, and Aaron will try and make that same journey, but will not be successful. Camion does get close door at the very least, so we'll maintain an awkward angle to clear if it is to be a topside finish. But just taking raw duels. And Coolio, actually,
Nice.
couple of kills with this Deeg.
Maybe Cammy can also find another one. There you have it. Another AK picked up. LDLC. Round that really should have been very easy for them. A 5 versus 3 versus pistols only is now suddenly becoming a bit more complicated. Gravity at least has the right idea. He's hoping to find Coolio, but now that he's made noise, Coolio knows his position as well, and no longer will Camion, will Gravity, be able to get the jump out of them.
Camion's kill is the biggest one there because that was supposed to be the bomb carrier as well, so they have to try and go in to receive it. Oh, Camion even getting caught out. Lambert diving up back through the vents. He's found 2 kills in that close area proximity. And at 30 seconds, he does get his hands back on the package. Coolio, constant repositions. He does move into heaven, but Lambert may just have to take that same path towards those vents, towards lower, if he wants a chance.
That smoke will be going out pretty soon, but Lambert still will be able to move in. The question is, though, does he think he has enough time? 15 seconds. Coolio adjusts, but he can't find the frag. Lambert's triple is what ends up giving them the round, and DomiNation really in that 2v1 just not feeling like they could sit down on a bomb site, feeling like they needed to keep remaining mobile, getting caught out by Lambert at the flank, small dropping of the ball, but even then it's a ball they should never have had.
Yeah, and it's one of those things as well where, you know, the more experience you have, the more you probably realize that you might actually have the bomb there after you kill a solitary lobby lurk, after losing control of outside, losing control of ramp, all the meanwhile, you know, at some point or another, that's one of those positions where you actually want Camion to almost over push through towards lobby to get confirmation on that, because had they known, that they would have played that round completely differently. You know, they were trying to counteract wherever LDLC were on the map. They've lost information, and they're trying their best to plug up gaps instead of positioning themselves in spots that are going to be very, very annoying and very hard for the LDLC players to sort of counteract. But that was a rather chaotic round. You know, DomiNation, that's kind of what they wanted. They just didn't realize the kind of position they actually were in. Didn't piece it all together. Already 7 rounds Seaside. LDLC are going to be happy with this already, even if this half ends up going a little pear-shaped for them.
And, well, Afro somehow managed to find the kill despite Aaron having the utmost advantage now with the smoke, giving him a bit more of a mask. MSN not peeking forward yet, taking a much shallower angle. Might be regretting that later on as Gravity is closing the distance. MSN holding in for a no-scope. I mean, I know he's had some crazy moments, but now it is a quick scope instead. Decides to stick true to something a bit more traditional. Doesn't just want to be shotgunning in from heaven.
Yeah, how are you going to expect the AWPer to already just be posted on that angle, even if he didn't zoom in? Coolio, hard angle to clear. First kill's easy. Second won't be quite as simple. Snobbling, the trade is nice, and that's the bomb as well. Oh, that's the key one. Lambert taking some pressure in towards this A site, and MS7 already committed out of heaven. They should know that he's nearby. Snobbling maybe once again. No, Lambert finds him, but ran out of bullets, and MSN couldn't bolt another one back in the chamber quite quick enough. It's another LDLC 1 round.
DomiNation not looking like the team that we saw at Inferno whatsoever. Really seeming lost across most of the players. Coolio is the only one who is consistently winning out duels, and you just don't know what direction they feel like they are going to be going into. I mean, even if you're looking over towards how MSN is playing in that round, right? The fact that Aaron is close the distance to the smoke, he's trying to exploit the gap over there. Sure, he doesn't get the kill, but then MSN isn't there to trade. He's not over there to take an angle. I thought he was actually watching out for the garage push in case someone had come through from garage, but he was taking a significantly shallower angle there, so they're effectively giving up all control on outside of one rifler just contesting. So kind of weird overall from DomiNation.
Yeah, this is the first time that they're playing this map, as far as I can tell, with MSN AWPing and then, you know, bringing in Coolio as well. So maybe some teething issues as far as changing positions is concerned, but LDLC have no chill. They don't care if you're undergoing some growing pains. You dominated them on that first map, and so LDLC are putting their foot down and doing much of the same here on this T side. Their map pick on Nuke. Can't expect too much from this half buy, and already we're seeing the results. LDLC looking to hammer home by 9th, and there will be no real issues in sweeping that up. They have lost one player for their efforts, but bombs now down, and DomiNation are out of this round.
And LDLC are already looking like they're in a position where DomiNation should have no legitimate chance of contesting in this map, short of just some miraculous comeback performance. And as far as the French side is concerned, you're not even seeing any massive pop-offs or anything, right? It's just, hey, we're consistently finding gaps in the defense, we're filling those up, and we're good to go. All of our players are finding the frags whenever they're needed. Sure, maybe Afro has actually come through in a few key moments more so, but regardless.
I'm just unsure where the change is going to come in. You know, right now when they've been losing outside, there has been very little counter reaction from DomiNation. We haven't even seen really, you know, hyper aggro lobby pushes. You know, that's one of the counter actions the CT side usually go for, whether that's some sort of push through trophy or through hut, through door. We haven't seen like a coordinated assault on the LDLC default as of yet. No fast rotates towards lower either. Maybe this is the change that they're looking for. Bodito playing close red around the glaive smoke, and it can be a little bit dangerous. His exit path is not exactly the easiest. Flash is great. Brooksy ducks, and now Bodito's out in no man's land after punishes.
Being loud about that rotate, but obviously as they're looking to reinforce back into ramp and see if they can get into the lower bomb site ramps with Aaron. No, they're going for a double push in. The lobby crunch will be assisted by Camion's forward positioning, but the problem is Camion is going to be a little bit too quick to the party. T-side yet to commit, and as they will start to go back to lobby, it feels like DomiNation are at the very least positioned accurately to be able to go for this. MSN good for the first one. Both players spotted out, and a flashbang through to try and give them even more space. And the T side, they do seem to be stuck, but you have to keep an eye out for Gravity on outside, as he will be leaning in from Mini instead to try and locate Camion.
Should expect it. Some sort of presence in from door. That door's blown open. Coolio alleviates that pressure. Camion caught between two minds about which player to fight first after a trade, but Aaron stops that bomb from being collected. It's a Lambert 1v3 that will not be found. This time, DomiNation do perform that counteraction. They lose outside, they aggro lobby, and LDLC get caught out. Seems so simple when you can sometimes X over the O. Not the conventional version of tic-tac-toe, which may be able to take squares back. So that's what DomiNation need to be able to do. At the moment, we've seen too much checklisting from LDLC. Take outside, get towards lower, commit towards the full site, and use numbers to your advantage. And now they're losing opening duels as well. MSN and aggro peek over towards red will find success. And while there's a bit of body blocking, they're just hugging each other with the fact that they've got an advantage to work off of, but it's not for very long that they hold that advantage.
Afro wants to just keep on leading through for a bit more as well. Coolio is going to be given some assistance. Aaron peeking forward right into Afro's op, ready and waiting. The close range angle held and brought down. Coolio now being careful, as there is the possibility of Afro just gunning it outside, but with a smoke down, he has no intention of doing so. Bodito, other side, they're holding for this push. They're expecting it. Gravity's demise is there. Bodito hears Lambert dropping, good for one, and backs off, doesn't overcommit. Afro's actually so convinced that Bodito would retreat that he doesn't even look in behind the trophy room.
I actually don't know that they had certainty about where he died from. You know, A1S is actually somewhat hard to sort of fixate on the positions, but I think he put it together once he realized that blood was splattered against the wall that he was approaching from. So now very suspicious about that flank being committed to 3-on-2. This bomb will have enough space to actually get a plant down. It shouldn't be MSN taking first contact.
Snobbling is just trying to dodge out all the nades and utility falling through, but as he dodges those, will not realize that Bodito has already put himself in position. Afro, who started off the round for LDLC, is looking to end it as well. 4 kills already, and the ace in line, but Bandito's Molotov will separate and give enough time to threaten the flank in from Vents as well, but Afro is single-minded. Bomb picked up as well, even so. Molotov back to Hut will guarantee the bomb plant. Afro's going in for the full ace, and he's set up for it nicely. Bandito, a grenade, a flashbang, all the utility in the world will not help him out. It has to be with the gun. And he finds this round. Afro. Smoke down, trying to play in from behind it. Bandito's taking the high ground, and maybe there is a small gap where he would have been able to spot Afro. Afro is expecting him on top of Hut, the full ace, and all of those aggressive positions.
Wow. I mean, that's the kind of thing you want to see from Afro. Definitely one of the more experienced players on this roster. And just able to simply outclass DomiNation from peak to peak. So many of these fights, they had no idea where Afro was coming from. And then even that quick adjustment on the main push. Beautiful from Afro. Hyper conscious. That looked like it should have been a DomiNation round. And Afro has grabbed it out from their hands. Professional yoinker. And LDLC, 10 rounds this T side. DomiNation will scramble a bind. It's a pretty solid one at that. They are missing out on some Molotovs to counteract any faster plays that LDLC may have loaded in the tank. And this is almost a perfect time to do that. They've been slow rolling outside and pressuring lobby. Already getting to 10. You could certainly make an argument to speed things up for this final round, but Gravity taking room and actually gone with a much faster schedule. Could actually assault towards main. Aaron's out from it, trying to play around those smokes. But credit is open.
Aaron is at the very least keeping an eye out for it, but Gravity's AK advantage as well as headshot will just make that completely impossible to actually come out on top of. Bandito not expecting Gravity, but will not just be immediately shut down by the AK the same way. It's Gulia who suffers that fate for now. 4-on-3 again, LDLC with a big advantage. MSN has to try and bring it back, but he's turned his face away from the angle, holding a much more passive one instead.
Seems impossible to salvage. Need this kill. MSN cannot connect, and Afro punishes him for his antics. Camion in from Secret. Damage is good, snubbling low, but he counteracts, and they'll find every single kill. 11-4 at the half. LDLC are in with some real fight on their map pick. Let's see if DomiNation can put up a much better effort in the second, or whether we go all three.
break up, don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat, just like a scratch on a CD. It just gets deeper when you hit rewind. How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears and it's blurring your vision. You know he don't love you, that you're holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So I'm still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than your rescue? I'm feeling kinda used, yeah, like a drug that you take when you're sick of crying all your tears away. Is that all I am? All I want is for you to be happy. You know this ain't healthy. Do I make you happy? How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears and it's blurring your vision. You know he don't love you, what you holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So I'm still at your place.
11-4 in no small part courtesy of Mr. Afro, coming out with an ace and a lot of frags outside of it as well. He's really able to push LDLC forward, but DomiNation look like they're a completely different team on the second half.
Yeah, 21 kills from Afro in that first half, so expect more damage to be done here on the CT side. Afro even challenging in from main. You can see the confidence brimming off him. He's even trying to chase these players down, but Dido, not expecting him to be so close by. He pushed through door, and Lambert, while he does get dinked, they hold on to ramp. Gravity, it's a bait switch setup, and even Coolio getting team killed in and amongst it. They still haven't sussed out that secondary player in at ramp. In fact, Brooksy came in on that rotate to alleviate the stress. No problems, LDLC, another CT side pistol converted upon. DomiNation did win theirs, of course, but they struggled for much of their defense. I don't think LDLC are going to come in with the same issues.
Well.
Sorry, did I overestimate Afro's kills?
I don't think... That's what I was actually trying to figure out as well, personally, but I don't know.
Well, it says 20, so we'll stick with 20.
Well, it's a lot regardless, right? That's what matters at the end of the day. Many times are 20. Afro.
20 is plenty.
Indeed it is. 21 is a little bit of fun, but hey, why not out here for fun?
There's a good Scottish bit about 20 is plenty.
Go for it, I believe you.
There are signs in Scotland to like stop people from speeding, and one of the taglines they came up with was 20's plenty.
Can you say that in a Scottish accent so it sounds a bit more authentic?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I refuse to. My ancestors would not be happy.
From what little I understand about Scottish history, and trust me, it is very little, your ancestors are probably going to be, you know, happy if the accent is maintained. You know, I'm believing you, Michael.
Yeah. It'd feel too much like an impression as opposed to an actual accent.
Well, so far it has been slightly depression from DomiNation.
And he's on iNation.
Impressions retired, so. Volleys as well, going right past Snobling. Flashbang won't be doing anything either. Coolio just blinds himself and then he ends up trying to spam in through the smoke as well. I would like to imagine that was not premeditated, makes it slightly more comical, but kills have been traded in the meanwhile. Afro and outside has found Benito as well.
Ooh. Ooh, good kills. Finding the top hut player makes this A site super vulnerable. Lambert did push through ramp, but is it expected? They should anticipate some kind of a rotate. Yeah, Lambert does get cleared. Aaron just trying to reposition for that post plant, but finds a head instead. DomiNation answer back. Sure, LDLC win the pistol and the conversion round, but in with that first gun, DomiNation hitting right back. Puts LDLC vulnerable now to being reset as well, so DomiNation chaining 2 here would allow them at least the chance to claw away at this large lead.
Uphill battle regardless, though.
Yeah.
A lot to claw away at. Afro. And he knows that he's on and he wants to stay on. Getting aggressive like this, though, unfortunately means that headshots will be exchanged and Aaron with a better gun will come out on top. It is the size that matters in that one. Size of the bullet.
Yes. No, I knew what you were. Lambert, 1 kill, won't quite cut it. Been fairly spread from the DomiNation player who takes responsibilities. Cambion tried to get activated. Round that Molotov, Gravity does succeed. Took a lot of damage for his efforts, and in spite of the good start, they're back to 2-on-2. And sure, Gravity's low HP, but now just trying to figure out where these players have repositioned to. Brooksy already diving down those vents towards the lower side. They are split, and that does make this CT round very difficult to actually convert upon. Gravity in his spot almost certainly going to be cleared for. They're being very cautious.
As well they should be. Gravity will end up going down. Molotov back up to top heavens as well. And Brooksy's rotation position is only going to work out for him if they are neglectful of vents. He's realized that the chance of neglect seems pretty limited. So over back to mini he goes. No kit. Don't know if there is one on the way that he can pick up or whether there is one on the bomb site. Doesn't look like it. So this is more likely than not just going to end up being a save. Giving up a lot of control over there in that 4v2.
And I'll just color this a little bit. You know, obviously when they were playing with color, funnily enough, they did play against Aurora, a team that have done a lot of damage recently online, or doing a decent effort as well as far as the European RMRs are concerned. They're, I think, in the 2-2 bracket, set to face up against 4s. They actually took them quite far on this map, and most of the effort was actually done by DomiNation's T side. You know, they came into the T side only being able to get 5 rounds together on CT. So there is, to some degree, a precedent. They ended up losing the map, you know, 16-13, but they brought it back. There is at least precedent that DomiNation can do some solid work here on this T side, and against a good team.
Yeah.
LDLC don't have that same facet. You know, they haven't been able to grind to the same success as some of these other teams that have been, you know, circulating in the online side of things.
We saw this exact same boost being filed out on the other side a few times as well, but hey, it's okay. Of course, if you guys are wondering what exactly is going on over there, as Brooksy gets one, will likely be traded out. Flashbang is going to force him off the angle. And it is Gravity, in fact, who's able to get a flank, but he will himself be traded. Afro's demise means that it is at least a guaranteed advantage, courtesy of Aaron's triple.
Another instance of a little miscommunication, I think, from the LDLC players. Aaron got the kill into Brooksy, and then Gravity just kind of dropped his guard to try and grab the rifle. Didn't expect a secondary player. And DomiNation have a similar slip-up over on the lower side earlier in the game. The one rifle that they brought into this round didn't find too much. DomiNation would do good to try and guard that weapon if possible. LDLC are more than likely to try and make some sort of an effort to recover it. That's why Aaron still sits outside towards Garage, keeping a watchful eye.
Well, good to see them at least being able to keep a few more players alive this time over as well. Slightly healthier round win. Lambert is experimenting with the God of Lightning. And historically, every time that's happened, it has ended up in some sort of catastrophic mortal being born. So I'm glad that he doesn't actually get anything from it. Most of Greek mythology is because of Zeus and experimentation.
Okay. I was a little confused as to why we were seeing SMGs bought up here from LDLC, but they don't commit to a full buy. I think they had enough to squeeze together rifles. They'd be missing out on Molotovs and maybe some HEs, so opting for a future gun round. They've got some rounds to play with given their lead, but sure, they're close to 13. But getting those final 3 can be quite difficult, can be quite trying. Let's see if this buy catches DomiNation off. They're being quite aggro with it.
DomiNation under the much more defensive setup, though, might be able to catch them off when the push is through, especially if they're concentrating with much of their pressure to be on outside. Remember, they are going to be expecting a proper full buy to come through on the other side, so they will be slightly surprised to see these MP9s of the Eagles. What kind of adjustment is actually going to be coming forward is the question. Coolio better adjust his own rifle. Will be losing it pretty soon. A 3-on-3, but with only 1 AK recovered, they are still in the advantage on DomiNation side.
Getting access to the bomb site will be quite difficult, though. Already having to worry about lobby. Aaron pushing forward, and Gravity's rifle will meet the same fate. This time, Badita's the one to collect. Snobbling was the one contingency they had towards the lower side, and fortunately, that's not where DomiNation are headed. Figured it out, it's pieced together, and might just be an effort to try and grab one of these rifles. If he does go back lobby, you know, there is a gun towards T-spawn, I think, that he can maybe attain. But maybe just perusing outside for another.
Is he just saving the cover
up? That's...
Okay. This is probably one of the most economically conservative rounds from start to end that I've seen.
Very strange. Because you can buy a rifle. Like,
yeah.
Who needs this extra money? Nobody.
$850 is $850, Michael. And yes, I'm not counting the deagle on that because the pull out time for the deagle is kind of insane, right? It's just you probably don't want that. All right, Snowblade, come on, go for that full heavy investment.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't on max loss bonus. And Snowblade just barely pulls together enough for a full belt of utility, so it's not without its merit, but, you know, if he'd saved a weapon, then could have potentially even made it better. You know, could have compromised and gone with a FAMAS instead. It's a little bit, you know, plucking away at tiny decisions, but LDLC, they really need to put this round together. Camion does actually make the cross over towards main, even though receiving some tags while in midair. Gravity not unable to do too much damage with that HE. Coolio's already down the vents, and I don't think LDLC are the wiser, and nobody's rotated down.
Seems like DomiNation might be able to give out someone that B surprise that they themselves were receiving as well. Let's not forget that was how the first half started out for their CT side. Just lots of players in B before they even knew it. Afro, so aggressively postured, is going to be smoked and flashed off. The deep flashbang actually ends up working out worse against him for his sake. But now, too many players on either side will be able to pick up one as he's faded back to garage, but the cross will not be disabled.
Yeah, that's the bomb making that journey. That's the important piece. They can link up with Coolio, who's been able to hold and siphon off this vent rotate for the longest time. They even have Aaron running interference on that lurk. Smoke towards door will keep these players busy. No one's still rotating towards the lower side just yet. So DomiNation, if they actually do reveal their hand on B, they can just get that plant down safely. But the bomb's making its way back up, and that could fall right into Gravity, or potentially the AWP of Afro. They've committed and reinforced this A side. 20 seconds. DomiNation are going to make their move towards A.
Brooksy found out as well. Snobbling and Afro trying to be able to put up a defense with the great crossfire. Snobbling should be able to reveal later on, and with 8 seconds later on is never. For DomiNation, just completely pulled apart. Time running down low for them. They just didn't have the space to be able to cross into the A bomb side. The initial kill from Afro did so much in disrupting their rhythm on outside.
Yeah, I think just the fact that they didn't have, like, I don't think they had any utility I think that really scared them of approaching the B site, because while they had the vent siphoned off, while they made sure that there was no real presence towards double doors, control, you know, actually crossing past ramp seemed a bit too daunting, perhaps, for them. That's maybe why they redivert towards that A site, but little did they know that LDLC just didn't have anybody even considering it. You know, if anything, they were going to try and play for the retake if it was to be a B-side finish. DomiNation didn't quite put that one together. Now their money is on the precipice. LDLC, should they win this, will be at 15, and DomiNation will not have another buy loaded in the tank, so they need that shy surprise. Akulio Tech is going to be at the front of the action. Brooksy cutting him down and running straight through that smoke. The trade won't happen fast enough. Aaron eventually gets his handle on it, but they lose 2 players for their effort, and Badito as well will be unsuccessful in wrapping through main. So bomb dropped at the feet of LDLC with a double man advantage. MSN just claw away at one more.
It's falling apart of a hair. Flashbang is good to force Afro off the angle, but they're not actually able to commit off the back of it in time, similar to what we saw in the previous round as well. Bringing it back to a 2-on-2 is MSN. Molotov as well for Afro as he is moved away. A smoke down will give him a bit more space, but guess what? There was a smoke anyway. Smokes on smokes, and now it's 2 consecutive one-on-ones. They're trying to spam in through. Afro should have an idea of there being a player inside the smoke, potentially. But as he's waiting to phase it, Afro makes noise moving past. It's going to be a one-on-one again pretty soon, unless Afro can just get this frag. And yes, he can. A big double to close out the 2-on-2.
Oh, you think you can outgame Afro. He accounted for it. He expected that someone would sit inside of that smoke, especially when that player was completely caught off guard inside of lobby. He knew exactly what was going on. Someone had to be trying to make a play. Afro just made the perfect counteraction. 15 for LDLC. They've got 7 swings at it. It's only Deegs and an SMG that they have to contend with to stop them from taking their map pick. Last map in the pool would be Vertigo, and after the stomping that DomiNation put forward on Inferno, LDLC have looked way more composed here on their map pick.
So much of it has to be attributed out to Afro, right? He's been absolutely stunning on the AWP, but Brooksy, Snobbling, maybe less so in the second half for Snobbling, but Brooksy and Gravity for sure, having a few very important moments as well. And Afro wants to end things in style as he gets aggressive around the corner of red, misses out a shot. The double swing now will be there to punish.
Yeah, not what he wanted. They weren't ready for that peak whatsoever, and I think the fact that they weren't clearing for him specifically actually almost threw him off. How much can they actually leverage this man advantage? Sure, Bandito's got his hands on it all, but it's not exactly the best weapon to pry bar in. These Deegs have to be at the front of the action. Maybe even MSN's SMG can create that space. They're losing time here. 40 seconds, and they've yet to really gather their efforts. Over towards ramp they go. Lambert under siege, and he does duck down towards B in time.
Drop down on the vents will have been heard completely. It's looking like it's the upper bomb side hit, but once again going through smokes, and Sobling is ready to intercept. So much damage on MSN. Quickly finished off by Gravity as well. But now advantage lost. Camion to trade a 2-on-1. Lambert will be coming back in for the retake. Remember, their money is very bad, and with how conservatively they have played in the past, I wouldn't be surprised to see them not try and commit for it. Lambert, especially now that he knows he has been spotted out.
They'll have to wait a little while longer before finishing off business here. Not exactly the ideal buy from DomiNation, but especially after Afro fell, suddenly this LDLC defense didn't quite have the same oomph. They were convinced, you know, after ramp got attacked, they really doubled down on the idea of it being a B-side assault, especially when they saw that Mac 10, understood that pace is usually the game plan with that kind of a weapon. But DomiNation just showed some face, showed some skin, and then ducked right back over towards A, where LDLC had less presence as a result of the earlier attack. So actually quite well read from DomiNation, all things considered, but how many more rounds like it are we actually going to see?
Because especially when you consider that it has to stop being just reads as well at some point. You do need to get the frags. You have 3 players all on 10 kills in 24 rounds. That's not really ideal. Good trades. Camion starts off strong, but Lambert answers back immediately.
No more smokes this time as well for DomiNation. This is not a full buy from LDLC, as you can see. Snobbling trying his best to catch a player off, maybe even considering a sneak through to Hut. Uh-oh.
Right?
Nope.
Okay. Well.
From one insta-kill weapon to another. That's one hell of an upgrade.
Biggest ROIs of 2023 confirmed.
They're going to win
This man
this
is
round.
not stopped by recession. Yeah, it looks like they are. Honestly, this is kind of insane. Badito should be able to... No,
Oh
he's
my
going to be
God.
able to do it. He even saw the rifle barrel. Badito. Oh, my. Sure, it is a refrag for Aaron, but will it matter? Coolio will be hearing out the AWP nearby as well. Knows that that was one stolen away from his teammate. Aaron doesn't clear the angle properly either, and Coolio is once again going to be able to find a trade, only to have that slip away from their hands. And on the lower bomb side, there's already a player there. Finding him with a bomb out in his hand. Seemed like every single one of those duels was unfair and all too easy for LDLC.
Yeah, I mean, great job from LDLC putting that one together, but some things that certainly had to go right. They were much better on this map. You could tell they came with some real conviction. There wasn't...